fit in. Or
And
no.
who else is in here? 1, 2.
So many people.
With their grievance.
Others are sleeping.
The others are sleeping.
What has Sona sent me?
Sonar.
Not
I
so.
did on my classwork. I didn't have like honors and locked in this semester. What is
Bro, let me
Love
see
him or
what
hate
Sona
him, he
sent
is
me.
a
shall we
dude.
call?
Do you want me to use legal speak?
Go ahead.
Do you want me to just front this? Just send messages in the.
Here.
You guys talk in the chat. I will do the
talk in the AC dev
talking and-
core. Unless
Alright.
it needs to go
And-
straight towards her, then we'll talk in this chat.
and
And
I'll be the one talking voice wise, just to
Okay.
keep it professional.
Gotcha.
As no
I'll
offense to
also
anyone,
time
but
in.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll explain it to her.
I'll be the voice. This ends up happening every time, anyways. Yeah.
Type it so that she can read it, and then we'll begin. Jesus fucking Christ. That is sonar for you. That's sonar. I agree, we will all be formal completely. The downfall of AC has come. No, I'm talking about devastation of the whole team.
Okay, none of you take offense to this message, okay?
No worries.
I'm taking full pure assault right now.
I'll be the voice currently as I am. The no offense
agree.
to everyone, most formal, and have the highest knowledge of professionalism
Hey, man.
for calling.
Hey, man.
Begin then and wait for her.
Let us begin then and wait for her.
I'm trying to share that I'm
Going in
dumb.
there now. Yeah, we can talk to she. You know, if she, you know.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Wait for everyone to join.
Yeah. Oh, Luke was not gonna join.
Oh yeah, he's going to bed.
He's in bed.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
fucking what's
Yeah. So
Larry was gonna go to bed and already did. Fuchsin went to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
okay. So mainly the issue with all this is that one, Avery has been acting as a bank at the moment, which one, she is not. And two, the lack of professionalism just in general, not just from one side either. There, I will admit, there's a little bit on both sides that could be worked on. There's a lack all around. No matter what, we are all professionals, and we are meant to be professionals. That means on all sides there should be professionalism. And that's why we're making a small little thing with grievances. We're filing all of our grievances. And that is
Correct.
completely within our right to do. Okay? Now, a lot of these issues would have been solved. That is
People have-
exactly the problem. The main problem with that, lad, is that they are issues that encompass the entirety of us. And so therefore, we have to make sure that we have all of it together and so that way it's more professional when we bring it to you. Yes, however,
We're saying in the
text-
past, Lat.
in a text-to-text format, that is not the most professional setting. Therefore, if we're going to be doing this in a text-to-text format, this is the equivalent of emailing for our generation. You put everything together before. We're not going to send you the document. We are just going to, we are compiling a list of all of our grievances. That is what the
We're going
document is
to
for.
read it to you.
Yes. And it is not that we are wanting you to write with this doc or something like that. It's not something for you to sign. It's just something we've written up so that we each are able to get out everything we think about this situation and the overall, so we keep it professional. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So who would like to go first?
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
Like,
Hesse, yeah, you can go first. Keep it professional.
actually, I'd like to say something next. Go ahead, Ezzy. Type it up.
You can, we'll just mute. You take the floor.
Mm-hmm. Lat, put him up. You can right click and put his volume all the way up. It's probably because you put him down from an old VC. Put him at 200% then, Lat.
Just speak a little bit more in the mic. That works. I think next,
ahead.
Zin, go ahead.
Gotcha. Hold on a second. I'll pull it up. Oh, wait, I gotta go look in there. There we go. Okay. Let's start off with the beginning of this. Latoonia, in my experiences, is non compliant with keeping her word when it comes to getting things done, or when general plans or payment needs to be justified. Latoonia does not use her time within the game wisely for the development stake. And, regardless for some days ago or from the past, had publicly shamed or, in quotation, humiliated Black Forger or Forger speed process within making map segments for the new one, the third dungeon. That is publicly not professional whatsoever. When you completely disregard a developer that's on your team, a worker, that can lead to either one, wanting them to leave, or secondly, they just will not comply with you more responsive than they used to be. You have, lad, you went in publicly said that he was slow for making one room from third. From third. You then deleted all the messages from anywhere of what happened in there. People then also said, why are you hating on Forger's work? Because of that. Either you didn't look at it for what they were typing, because it was in the general chat, or you are aware, but you're denying. And that's only by assumption right now. Secondly, let me go back into this. Another mention that she has not complied with is within general payment is the lack of acknowledgement to the original contract that was presented by Bard and I and the other members that were in that group that we presented it to you. Either by delaying payment, again, because you keep saying college, it is a couple clicks, lads. Couple clicks or writing. That's it. It's not rocket science, and it's not going to take an hour. Payment discussion upon completion, talking with the person who made the asset. This is why you need to make a sheet, a complete sheet of each person making whatever asset it is, if they made it or not, if it's done or not. That is the whole general ideal. The other thing is of using Avery as your back end funder. They only did this voluntarily. You both had a conversation. Do not lie that you haven't. There was. Avery has also said that there was discussion and with proof of discussion. So again, I can
Then
only
chat.
not prove.
Zolly, please respond to my messages in the chat.
Let me see this. Just have a bad mindset from a decade of being insanely stingy on Roblox to the extreme. More try to improve on that, but I do actually have existence funds, narrative, emulated, plug forger, anything. That is false, lat. For the forger one, that was publicly in the general. Forger can also confirm that it was there. There were images as well in our DMs that we can go and fetch of you completely saying that it takes.
Please read the message directly under that.
I think it was a joke and misinterpreted as a genuine sentiment or sentiment. In the case, Solly, did you even read? Okay. Well, now I did. Still, even if it's jokingly or not, some people can take it to another
Yes,
way
now
around.
you've read 5 minutes later.
Don't get cocky with me, Lat. I'm not staying, and that is final. Someone else can have a lead on this.
Forger, I think you were brought up, so you're up next. It'll take about 5 minutes for you to read that and respond.
She's reading it.
Next up, I think Avery. I'll go last.
Hello. Okay, so one of my main issues right now is probably just unsure if I'm going to get any sort of reimbursement. And I know we talked a lot about this in DM. It's more of the fact that you've been kind of busy and you couldn't really pay other devs like Robux. So it's just an issue with how I see things and how you see things mostly. I think this is about like everyone right now. There seems to be a lot more understanding between everyone that probably caused like the downfall of this like whole team somewhat. And it's also um the overall scheduling of payments is so messy to the point where we can't really deduce anything. And to be honest, I'm just like I'm kind of tired right now. I'm sorry, but just mostly, you know, how everything's like ran and you're busy. It's kind of hard to like explain right now because it's like it's 2:54 a.m. I think Bar could take this a lot better and talk about this. Bar, you want to talk?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah, it's just my brain's kind of like fuzzy right now. Sorry.
Yeah. No worries. Okay. So, there's a range of things I want to address, and I'm just kind of summing some things up. And this really does hurt me to do this because I've poured 3 years. I mean, I've been here since
11.
nearly the beginning of beta. Um, my entire adult life at this point has been working on AC. And I've tried my best to bring in more professional aspects of this. And I've proposed things that would bring a much more professional environment to us. And every time I brought something up that would make everything go a lot smoother, that idea was rejected. Or pushed off to the side, and never talked about again. And I feel like working on AC has been more demeaning to me more than it has anything. Every time that I propose the fact that I'm a high dollar professional now. My works have been valued at thousands of dollars. And I don't ask for much at all. Not here, because I felt indebted to AC for getting me started. That small bit of indebtment has just gone at this point, because I've poured a lot into this game now. And I just haven't felt like really that time and commitment I've put into this has been repaid fully. If we go at the total amount I've been paid so far, $300 USD is my total payment for working on this game. I've put in more than 164 hours working on the soundtracks for this game and other stuff like that. That comes to less than $2 per hour that I've worked for, which really shouldn't be an acceptable standard at all. And that is why I usually charge by the minute, because it is a lot better for everyone involved, right? Because the hour of work does not equal the length of music that is put in. And it's just these working conditions really are just not acceptable to keep at. And like, my only real competitor in my market is Mr. Albert Kim. And do you know what he charges? $150 per minute of music. Not per track or something like that. That is per minute of music. And he charges extra every time you want a revision. I don't do that, because I feel if my client doesn't get what they want the first time, I'll give them like 3 chances. I'll remake it 3 times. If you need any more than that, then I might consider start charging more. But I do think, and I know for a fact, that what I make is good enough to be on his standards. Me and him talk. We are in a composer's Discord where we all work together and like give each other feedback and all that. And he loves the music I create. Everything. And another thing is that I am abnormally fast worker for my field. That may sound like a brag, however, it is the hard truth. I am one of the fastest people to put out music like this in this field. And even Albert, he has waited, people have commissioned him, and they've had to wait over a month for a single track.
I watched some of it. I heard
it would have been, had we tried to release Abyss on the original timestamps that we were going for, I would have had 2 months to make 8 tracks, which is crazy standards for anyone beside me.
I definitely see what you're saying, and I'm genuinely sorry.
And that's why that's the only really issue I've had with working with you, okay?
Don't ask
Is
fucking
that is that. And I mean, it is not the fact that there's some unprofessional like in general, the AC main Discord needs to be cleaned. It moderation teams, everyone in that Discord, the majority of our admins, staff, and everything will immediately, if our Discord became an official Roblox Discord, it can't actually at the right now. We would have to go through and delete more than half the messages probably in general and the other chats because there is zero following of Roblox TOS, which one is a huge requirement for official Roblox Discords. And because our Discord is listed in the game, in our group description, I don't know if it's in the actual game description or not, but
It's in the
that
game page on Roblox.
Yeah. That means it is open to children, people under the age of 12. Because Discord, reminds you, for family-friendly servers, which ours is supposed to be considered, allows under 12 members to join. Now, they can't join VCs or anything, but they are still able to read those chats.
Since when was this? I saw that Discord is like specifically 13 plus, but also please do tell me anything that needs to be like anything you see that's in violation of stuff, and like if any moderators especially are doing it or letting it slide, please inform me.
For instance, let's see, if I just search up from me, because I addressed an issue with this the other day, and from a member, Fanta. He's a long-standing member of our community, a moderator, and him and a friend of his were spamming things such as, let's see, I'll make sure you shoot yourself with the gun. Stuff like that. That is where they are openly threatened, even if they are friends. That still does not matter. It should not be in a public Roblox Discord where they are moderation members. Specifically.
Children also
I agree
hide.
with you.
And when I pointed it out and said, hey, we have to follow Roblox TOS, I got a bunch of the memes, basically, about that, saying that. And although I understand that, most people don't like the idea of following a children's game's rules. We are still part of that children's game. We work on that children's game. It is what gets our money. And therefore, we should follow the rules of the organization. And it's not just a thing. Roblox is a massive organization. Billions of dollars. And they put those rules out for a reason. For the protection of children on their platform. Because they know what is on their platform and who plays that platform the most. In fact, my 7-year-old brother plays our game. And there are still people, one, bypassing in our chat, who we still cannot do anything against because even though we had put in multiple requests since the very beginning of release for some sort of menu for removing players or doing anything admin related,
Dev menu
we weren't able to get one. And then, but what was more concerning to me is the fact that you haven't noticed this in the chat because it is really constant. um, in the chat. Like, if I scroll up from the very newest messages at 12:48 a.m. today, less than a little over an hour ago, Fanta, once again, was just cussing in chat. Same with his friend, who is also a known member in the community, or has the known tag. There's also people talking about negatively about illegal aliens, which I'm not going to say anything about, but then all that little over an hour ago. And then other members, let's see, another one of our server boosters cussing in a chat, bypassing.
Okay, to fix all these things, who would you recommend firing and hiring?
That's for you to decide, Lat. It's
really
your server.
should have been, from the very start, the moderation applications should have been put through trials and kept on top of too.
They were.
Except they aren't anymore is the problem.
I have read all of the trial mod applicants. Ori and Mango, excuse me, I am talking. Ori and Mango added many new trial mods without my knowledge, without them going through the applications, etc. Because last time I tried to do anything like that, everyone threatened to quit. Pretty much like all the mods at the time.
Being the leader.
Another
When you can find more people.
Yeah, another thing is you have put rules, and there are rules that are meant to follow basic rules, like in our the main channel, right? Rules channel. Follow Discord and Roblox terms of service at all times. That is your official rule, right? And if our own moderators are not following the rules of the server, which they are meant to enforce, they shouldn't be a moderator. That's plain and simple. They should be that should be immediately taken care of. And that's something that is the responsibility of our admins, Mango, and I almost just boosted the server. Whoopsie. And Zotil. I guess I don't even know who that is, which is odd. But our admins are supposed to watch over the moderators. And if they don't watch over the moderators and ensure things are then our admins are the ones who need to be looked at and inspected. And that is the goal of whoever's above them. And who is above them on the very list. It is a hierarchical thing. You are the only person above the admins on that list. And our development team, we don't have permissions to administrate even. I have 0 permissions, moderator permissions at all. I think Zin might have a few, but as far as I know, we are unable
Of
to
what?
help with that in any way. And so therefore, the only person above those two is you. And so therefore that is part of your responsibilities. And
I understand. I will work on that.
and that was just like there are so many small issues that are just compiling up into large issues here. And that is the main thing that is happening here. There's small things, and then there's also some very large things, like um, the fact that Avery ever had to step in at all to fill that role.
Yes, that was a major slide on my part. It will not happen again.
Yeah. Right now, I think before we move forward with anything, we should announce to the official AC Discord that there's going to be a small delay in any plans, clean everything up, and then we can continue work on a slate that is not tainted from past mistakes. And now, Zin, I know, is going to be going to work on Unbound Worlds, which I also is my main focus right now because I have over 60 tracks to make for that game, and I'm getting a percentage payout of that game. So the better that game does, the better I do. So I have more of an obligation to do good to work for that game right now. And and I am not the only. Another thing is that tasks. I'm using Unbound Worlds as a demonstration, but tasks are divided up immediately. We know who is going to be doing what, so that there's no overlap. There's no issue of who's doing what. Ever. We know exactly Zin is going to be doing all of these models. We know which is going to be doing this section of coding. We know I'm going to be doing some of the music, and then our other audio developer who I've brought on is going to be doing some music. And then other things like that. Like everyone has a specific job that they will do. And then there's no issue of like, who's doing what? We know beforehand, which is how it should be at any time. Here especially because this game has already been released. We reached over 4,000 players, which is a crazy high amount for any starting for any game to release and have that within a week of releasing is absolutely insane. And it brought in a lot of new people. And it could have continued had we addressed these issues. However, they went unaddressed, which caused the game to now be down to an astounding, I saw it at 40 players, and I guarantee you, if I pull it up right now, right now we have 40 active players in a game that had 4,000.
And where things have gone bad.
Yeah. I mean, it's just really. I mean,
You good?
yeah. It's just a lot of time had been poured into this game. And I really wanted to see it succeed.
I did too.
I really did. However, right now, in the current state it will have less than 10 players by the end of this month, which is in 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to see that happen, but there's nothing to. The thing with other larger games like DQ and Fabled Legacy, the reason they're able to get away with not having constant updates is because one, they spoil their community with small updates. Like, let's see, every 8 days pretty much Pixel has released an update on what's happening. And he's released small updates stuff and told everyone about them in their large, at everyone updates. And then he's kept as an active part of the community, which, yes, this is pretty much his full-time job at this point. I'm pretty sure he also works a job outside of it. Yeah. And that's 9 to 5. Another thing is, college, yes, it's hard. I understand that. I'm also in college. I have 22 credit hours this semester. I had 21 last semester, and I had 24 the semester before that. And then the semester before that, I had 12 because of a horrible college thing. But yeah, but since then, I've had 22 credit hours minimum, pretty much, per semester. And I've still kept up with demands for everything that I have. And I have a lot of commissions, too. It's not just one thing. It's not just AC that I've been working on. I have a musical that I was commissioned to write for a dude in New York, which that takes a long time to make. I had my own concert that I had to put on. I had multiple different bands and stuff that I perform with, and I have to travel for that. But every time I got home and sat at my computer, I put at minimum 2 hours of work doing something, whether it be on AC or conversing with people, making sure that things are going well. But I've always made sure to, at least anytime I get the chance, worked on extra things, to the point where, like, I had to stop hanging out and playing games for a while. There's about a month where I didn't even get to play any video games with my friends because I had to, one, take care of some stuff at college, and then on top of that, I was just making sure that stuff that needed to get done got done, so that I could keep on schedule. And that's another thing. If you put out a scheduled date, you need to do everything we can to try and hit that date, presuming it's not a completely unrealistic goal. Like, a large update for a complete new dungeon 2 months after release is almost unheard of, to be honest. If we had hit it, that would have been awesome. We would have been breaking the norm. However, our team was not equipped enough to deal with something like that.
You're right.
Like, if you think about it, even Voldex, however much people hate them, they have a massive team, and they still struggle to get an update for DQ every 6 months. Their team is over 100 people. And they may not, each individual there might not be as talented as each individual here, but the difference is we're still trying to meet unrealistic, like, Zin ended up having to step in to make a crud ton of models that really should have been divvied out. And even if there are some lesser quality things from around the board that maybe weren't up to the same quality level as Zin's, the general consensus is that we should, if we're going to try and meet a deadline, we should get everything done to get that deadline without pushing it all on a single person. Like, Zin had to do so much for the Ashton Cliffs update. And then he had to turn right around and start doing Abyss stuff. He barely even got a break after that, if at all. And then Yeah. And then, mm, yeah, we you have a team here, and Zin might be leaving this team, yes, but you still have at least some formance of a team, and that is why these grievances we wanted to bring them to you because they needed to be addressed as soon as possible. And honestly, I will recommend you some people, but I am considering working full time on UW and as my main game because AC is just at this rate. I'm not going to be able to be paid what I'm worth, and that's just because the game is not going to be able to make enough to do that. And I don't want to. I am not willing to lower my prices anymore, and I don't want to make the game go bankrupt on trying to afford soundtracks. That's why I will bring some people to you who are not, they aren't me, but they have quality and they aren't going to ask for as much as I will. But that's why I'm probably also with Zen going to be leaving to working on Unbound Worlds mostly because that is something I have total creative freedom there. Therefore, any track I make, Zen is pretty much fine with. And therefore, I'm able to freely create and make tracks there. And that helps a lot with doing stuff, which I do have some creative freedom here. But the problem is that there just isn't enough reason for. Yes, I understand that you're willing to improve. However, I am. The problem is that I don't. I now pretty much exclusively, even from Pixel and other people like that, even people I trust, I still ask for payment up front now because of issues in the past with certain other people who did not end up paying me for work. And the problem is that the general consensus of any commerce in general, is usually pay first, get service later. Services, which is what we provide. We don't provide products, we provide services. Services are paid for in advance. Like a restaurant. Well, actually, restaurants you pay after you get. That's a bad example. Sorry. But you are meant to, if you go on a Fiverr is a great example. You pay first, wait your time, and then you get your product. Like, yeah, like paying tickets for a game. You pay, and then you get your product. The problem is that Zen specifically is coming from an environment with Veil. An environment where he never even got paid pretty much a cent.
No one has. And especially when he also tried to ask for money, including a developer that is now owner with me, which he's only 15. And he got asked by someone who's 23 or 25.
That's another thing.
Years old.
The majority of your team is underage. And we'll have to accept that because this is Roblox. And the main thing with that is that these are kids. The amount of money that they need may not be. Me and Zen, this is part of our job. I make all of my money from music. I don't have another job besides this because my college and this takes up so much of my time that I have about 5 hours of sleep every day and maybe an hour of fun each day. And like, that really shouldn't be my living conditions, but it is because I've accepted that. It's how I now roll. I have college, I do that, and I get that taken care of, and then I work on this for a little bit, and then I have a little